Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you've had a great week. I'm going to get right to the point because I've got a lot to discuss today. Talking about art as therapy. And it's kind of got a lot on both sides of the coin. And for me, I've always been one that really has liked to have art to do art for purely aesthetic reasons. I was trained in the rules of fine art, so I believe in composition, line, color, value, all those types of things are very important to me when I'm working. But we are here talking about art as therapy, which is a bit different than art as for art's sake, perhaps. Or is it? Because I've been reading about Carl Jung, who is known as the father of art therapy. And he was a big advocate for doing art therapy and to getting in touch with your unconscious and your emotions and tapping into a lot of that type of thing. And for him, he found great value in it. I'm just now reading about more into it, and I'm interested in your take on the whole thing. So feel free to drop me a note or leave a comment or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to talk about this again in the future because Carl Jung discussed that his art therapy paintings were not art, and yet many considered them to be art. And in a future topic, 10-minute Monday art tip, I will discuss the difference between what is art and what isn't art, but that's like a whole other thing. So I don't want to talk about it today. But I was talking to somebody just the other day who is teaching an art type of art therapy workshop. And for her, she says that it doesn't matter what comes out. It's the importance of creating, being creative, and coming in touch with that creative part of your inner being. And I agree with that too. And it really doesn't matter. Believe me, we've all created paintings that are not very good. If you're a good artist, you will create stuff that's not good. That's the bottom line. So there is a certain aspect to doing that, just letting go and painting what you're feeling, etc. Now, that is not for all of us because for me, I have difficulties painting when I am not feeling inspired. But no, maybe that's the wrong terminology. I do not like to paint when I'm upset. I like to write when I'm upset, and some of my best writings has happened in those moments. So it is still a creative process, but it's a different medium, a different tool. So perhaps that's art as therapy. When it comes to my paintbrush, though, I don't like to put out my really depressed feelings, anger, etc. That I just, for me personally, I don't like to do that on a canvas or with my paintbrush. What about you? Have you had good experiences with that? I know some artists that are very famous did a lot of their anger onto their canvas, and they're very well known for that. And there is also a movement that went back decades ago that Bourgeois began in Quebec, and it was called the automatists. And they kind of put themselves into a bit of a trance, a meditative state, and then they would paint. And Jock MacDonald, it was one of them. And it was more, not so much art therapy, but more religious based. They were theosophists. So it was kind of along the same lines as art therapy, but slightly different. Uh, yeah, so there's lots of avenues that can be discussed when we're talking art as therapy. So I am interested in hearing what your take is on this. Do you do art paintings when you're feeling upset? Let me know how it goes for you. Um, and then I also want to talk about how art itself can heal us. I think I've mentioned this in a previous 10-minute Monday, but this book is the one I referred to yesterday. Elaine de Botton and John Armstrong. And I've been reading this, and this talks about how looking at art can be therapy as well. And that I totally agree with. Because you know what? I have been moved to tears in art galleries and art museums. I've seen some pretty amazing paintings in my life, and they have changed me. They stay with me. The Sistine Chapel has definitely been an extraordinary experience in my life, and that changed me. Seeing Michelangelo, you can't get the full impact from a book. So that is one thing that I cannot imagine my life without. So, in that aspect, I am saying yes, art as therapy is 100% accurate because I cannot imagine my life for the last 25 years without art. It has saved me. And in those days when things have not gone right in my life, I don't necessarily paint when I'm depressed or sad, but then when I'm a little lost, I can go in and paint because I know that that is one thing I am capable of doing is painting. When you don't know what else to do and you're confused, that is a good time to go and paint. It really works for me. It kind of gets me centered again. Lately, my life has been really busy. I've been busy doing paperwork and taxes and boring things like that. And if I keep at that kind of stuff for too long, I start to really, really struggle a bit with my mental state. And I find I need to take a day and just paint. So I'm going to do that today. It's a beautiful sunny day. My studio is got some very good vibes happening today. So I am going to spend the day painting. I had the good fortune of doing an art demo last week for the Calgary chapter of the Canadian Federation of Art. And so I'm going to, you can see the little painting there on my easel, just a small guy I did for their meeting this month. And so I'm going to go finish that off today. And if any of you are watching this here today, hello, and thank you for having me last Tuesday. It was a pleasure meeting you. Yeah, so I'm going to go paint today. I'm tired of paperwork and bookwork and all those mundane things that life has to throw at each of us. We all have to take care of business sometimes. But I find that if I do too much of that and I don't balance it with art and creative pursuits, then I'm not so happy. I am not so as balanced. I am not in as good of mood. So there is definitely that aspect of being art as therapy as well, right? So there is like a whole lot of things to consider when you are thinking about art therapy. I am wondering if we should pursue this further in another 10-minute Monday, or are you looking for something more? Maybe we should do something else regarding art therapy, because I am open to your suggestions and it is a very valuable topic and I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. If you'd like to learn more about it, it's something I am willing to teach. I can't imagine life without art. Wow, that thought is incomprehensible to me. What else do I have on my... Oh, what about this thought? Tell me what you think. There are a lot of famous painters that have also said that the best artists are the ones that have really struggled and have been through a lot in their life. So perhaps that's another aspect of art therapy. Do you think that the best artists are the ones that have struggled and been through pain, trauma, difficulties? Does an easy life equal dull paintings? There's a question for you. What do you think about that? Let me know. And again, please comment, get in touch. This is a big topic. I want to hear your perspective. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate subscriptions and comments. So I hope you all have a great week, and we will touch base same time, same place next Monday. Have a good one, and I hope to hear from you. Bye for now.